It's just not exciting. It's not a Tank Davis fight. Even a Loma fight, they're more exciting.
Shakur looked quite sharp. Picked his punch as well.
He hasn't got that KO power that a Tank Davis has got.
Picks his punches beautiful. He really does.
Loma lands more punches than he does.
He's a lot faster than Loma.
Stevenson, Shakur, he's better than Haney. So
No, he's not, unfortunately.
who do you think Shakur should have then?
It's a 50-50 fight. Loma's a big name. Tank's a big name.
There's no talk of Brinchik at the moment, so we'll see. Welcome back to BoxCast. In this episode, we're going to discuss the after fight of Shakur Stevenson and Harutyunyan. I hope again I said it correctly. Yeah, Simon, what did you think? Well, first of all, what did we predict? As you have the predictions, just so you can have some, you can claim the glory in this one.
I said Shakur on point. You said Shakur knockout round 10.
Yeah, a Shakur on points was always more likely.
It was an alright fight. Shakur looked quite sharp. Picked his punch as well.
Shall I bring the compy box up?
It's
I'm looking at it. He just warmed. He started slowly, warmed up into it by about the third or fourth round, and then started just. His defense is very good.
Yeah.
He boxed well. He's accurate. He's on it. It's just not exciting. It's not a Tank Davis fight. Even a Loma fight, they're more exciting. Loma may be technical, but his fights are more.
The last few fights in America, these American promoters seriously need to sort themselves out, because the fights and the fight cards that they're doing are just so bad.
The better fight in this was the one. Did you see the Keyshawn Davis?
Yeah, bit of a shock result there.
Well, you told me that one of them lost, isn't it? No, he won. Keyshawn won. It was the the Foster.
Shaki Foster.
Shakur Foster, the one that was the second fight on the card. That was the one where he's had a
bit of a shock,
and a dodgy-ish decision. This, I think. So, according to Foster, anyway.
Yeah. I'm just hoping Shakur really steps up now. They've got to fight
This was really a warm up, isn't it? Get back into it because he hasn't had a fight for a bit.
Yeah,
and then they haven't had any. Was allegedly after his retirement come back.
Yeah,
so
he did look sharp. He picks his punches beautiful. He really does. He's got really good defense as well. But
it was a showcase of his skills, but he hasn't got that KO power that a Tank Davis has got. And do you think he's, technically as gifted as he is he better than Loma? Maybe old Loma, but I'm not sure he's better than Loma, peak Loma. Prime Loma, I think, is better than he is.
A lot faster than Loma.
Loma lands more punches than he does.
No, I think...
Although he's very accurate.
Yeah, but
I think he was up to 66% in one round.
Listen,
I'm a Loma fanboy, so leave me alone with it.
It's not that you're a Loma fanboy. I actually think you might be in love with him now.
No, Usyk's my favourite now. So
no, I think they've got the champions in that division got to fight each other next. Plain and simple. We want to see him. The boxing world wants to see him. And if they want to say that. And you know what? And I'll give Loma his cues for this. I think Loma's the only one who'd fight all of them, no problem.
Yeah. It's
just to prove that he's the best.
Yeah.
And whether he loses, wins or not,
he'll do it still.
He wants to see who the best is. Yeah. We want to see who the best is. And we've got to do it. They've got to do it. They've got to fight each other. Promoters.
Well, there's four champions, as we've said before, and we think we did this on the Tank one as well. Brinchik, Loma. So obviously them fighting each other doesn't make sense. They're both Ukrainian. They're not going to want to give at this point in time. So really it's one versus Brinchik and one versus Tank. Tank is probably the hardest fight out of them because he has got that one punch. Even if he's losing, he can change it.
I think the Loma Tank is close, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. Stevenson has the potential. Shakur has this potential, I think, of beating him. But if he hasn't got the power, it's hard to stop Loma. See, that's where Tank has the advantage.
don't know. Everyone seems to get decisions against Loma, mate.
Yeah, your decision-wise, you'll get a decision in it. So, well, I think he's better than Haney, Stevens, Shakur, and I think Tank is better than Haney. So, and I think Tank, because of his knockouts, isn't great, but I think his boxing skill and IQ is quite on a different level as well. I think Shakur's on that level. I mean, it is like 3 or 4 really technically gifted high boxing IQ fighters. So it is really interesting. And I think discounting Berinchik is probably not a great idea either.
No.
But he's not a name as much as the other 3 are. So.
No, he's not, unfortunately.
And Tank and Loma are probably the 2 biggest names in that division. So, of the champions at least. So you think Shakur versus Berinchik for unifying one, and Tank versus Loma? Would that be the better?
Yeah, they've got it. I mean, like I say, I don't think... I mean, the Ukrainians, I think they'll fight anyone. Berinchik ain't going to be scared to fight him.
Well, he said the same thing. I want to unify. And Loma's obviously, that's his mission, is to get undisputed. Or unify and undisputed, so...
I mean,
and he ain't got that many fights left. I think it's only going to be 2 or 3, so it'd probably go through and then retirement. Obviously, if he can beat, if he loses, then it may be a bit sooner.
I mean, but...
Which one would you want to see? Go on, let's put it like that. So you're the...
No, I'd like to see
Eddie
him...
Hearn's boss. You want to make it...
I'd like to see them in that... No, because the thing is, you've got...
It's the promotion things.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, there was talk of Loma and Tank after Tank's fight. And obviously Loma had his win against Kambosos.
I mean, that is still going on.
But then there's some social media stuff, isn't it? The trainer going, oh, well, Loma's going to step out the way for Shakur and Tank.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard because Tank
Although
David...
he's now pulled that back, I think, this morning.
Tank David...
said he's just joking. Not much of a joke.
Tank Davis is represented by Al Heyman at PBC, and Loma's obviously represented by Bob Arum from Top Rank. Do they work together? They should be able to work together pretty easy. It shouldn't be... It's a 50-50 fight,
I think
isn't
for
it?
Tank and Loma, there's not much better places to go in it. The only other fight for him is Shakur.
It should be an easy 50-50 fight in Las Vegas. I can't see there being a problem. Because I'm not being funny. Loma ain't going to fight in the Ukraine for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
So
I think Vegas is the obvious destination for that. So both of them are there and they can do. So
I don't see what's taken so long.
So if that gets made, then who do you think Shakur should have then? Berinchik or have another?
No, should be fighting Berinchik straight away, and then the winner
takes all.
They should be doing what the Saudis do. Look, you get them together and go, all the promotions go, tell you what, we could make a massive show in Vegas here.
Because I'll go and see who else is in the lightweight while you're talking.
Loma Tank is bigger than Shakur Berinchik. So you could have Shakur Berinchik on the undercard of Loma Tank, to be honest.
A co-main event.
Yeah.
Let's call it that.
Do that
so he doesn't get an ego hit.
November? And then the winners...
in lightweight, isn't it?
Winners fight each other March, April. It's done, dusted. I should be a promoter. Dead easy.
Well, that's why I said, didn't I? You should phone him and arrange it, and then... So
I just don't see what the big issues are. Yeah, I understand money and stuff, but it's a 50-50 fight. Loma's a big name, Tank's a big name. There's not one bigger than the other. Ticket-wise, I'd say most probably Loma sells a few more tickets, possibly. But
Loma has the name everywhere in it.
Yeah,
boxing,
that's
a lot of boxing
and so does Tank.
The ones who know about boxing know who he is, and then Tank is coming up because I think his performance against Frank Martins, sort of cemented his position, and he could, even though it's a self-proclamation, be the face of boxing next. So, yeah, them two are the biggest.
I'm going to put this to you, see what you think. Are these fighters? And I'm not sure, but I had an inkling this might happen a few months ago. Are these fighters waiting for the Saudis to come knocking?
Well, you wouldn't be surprised if they are. Although you would think with these or being an American one, they could host there, isn't it? But they may. I think if Lomachenko was younger, I think they'd be on him like they are on anyway,
Are these promoters going, don't sign anything yet? Because at the end of the day...
When you get your offer, send it to us, we'll sort that out. So we'll make
at the end of the day,
offer.
the promoters still have to put up a bit of some money for... If they're going, hold on, the Saudis are going to pay for all of this, don't sign anything, we'll just sit tight and wait for them. Now, if that is the case, it's going to ruin boxing. Because the Saudis aren't just going to pick up every big fight on every boxer.
Well, I think, to be fair, they've been quite clever and they picked up the heavyweights because the heavyweight's the biggest division for promotion.
Yeah,
and in that, they probably needed to because everybody else had their chance.
Well, he's a massive fan of the heavyweights as well, isn't he?
But they're not just holding it in Saudi, are they? So you've got your Riyadh season in LA coming up, Riyadh season in Wembley in London coming up, and then they're going to do it there. So they're actually giving people a chance to go, despite the incredible ticket prices at Wembley anyway. So which we have had a look at. But still, at least there's the opportunity to see. And I think the thing they've added is the good card. So it's not just the main fight. It's
I get that, but I'm just, I
don't think they are for this. I think they'll make it because they have to. I think the main, if the winner out of, if that what we've just said happens, the winners fight each other. So they unify, and then that fight may be then pulled by the Saudis. I think at this point in time, they haven't really made the big thing with these. Because also, I think the pay-per-views for this level of weight of fighter, it isn't at the level of
it's not that. No, because I'm not being funny. If you go back to when it was like Pacquiao and stuff.
Yeah, but his name is Pacquiao and Floyd.
This is the problem. These guys, Tank Davis and people like that, and Lopez and that, they think they're up here, superstars.
They're only in their own neighbourhood.
Their pay-per-view, their pay-per-views and ticket sales are down here.
And that's why I'm not...
Whether that's the promoter's fault because they're not promoting them properly, which I don't think they are, because we don't hear a lot about the American fights over in the UK like we used to. If you knew Manny... Like, when Manny Pacquiao was fighting Miguel Cotto, it was everywhere.
Everybody. Well, I think that's because Manny Pacquiao's following was all over the world, and Cotto's is...
It was Mayweather De La Hoya, the biggest fight. It was boom. Even Mayweather Conor McGregor, they did a worldwide tour of press conferences. And yeah, I know it costs money, but that money that it cost for that made up for in the people got interested and bought the pay-per-views. So I don't think they're marketing their fighters to the best of their potential. Mm-hmm. And that is one thing that us, like, because we're the promoters. But no, I think
Frank, Eddie, sort this out.
But they do market their fighters really, really well. They never shut up about them.
Yeah, they can be annoying, but they do, because you know who they are.
I mean, we are going to come on to boot tennis, but you look at the noise Eddie Hearn is making around him. You'd think he was the next biggest superstar ever. Yeah, because he's there, he's promoting him, bang, bang, bang. Every interview he has, boot tennis. Eddie,
we are fans of his promotion. So,
but Al Heyman from PBC and Bob Abrams should be doing that. And I get Bob Abrams, like, well, he's basically decomposing. He's that old, isn't he? But he surely must have...
Still sharp as a tack.
Yeah, he is, to be fair. He'd most probably come back with some lovely witty comment for me. No, he should have, he's obviously got people who work under them that should be on social media pushing their fighters.
They are, but I think that the issue you've got is because they're in America, they've got a big enough market. They don't go out of it.
I don't think they have.
Yeah, well, I think I'm agreeing with you, but I think in their minds they have, and they're earning enough to make it like where they are. But if you look at the numbers, like Inoue's going to get, as they keep going about Inoue should fight in the US. he's got more for his fight, his offer for the last fight against Neri than probably any. Well, I don't know what Davis is paying, but Shakur's offer was, which was 15 million for 5 fights or whatever it was, 3 million a fight. He made double that in his own backyard.
He's not,
and that's not including all the pay-per-views and all the other stuff. That was just his basic.
That wasn't pay-per-view either. That fight.
Yeah.
That's
just from the ticket sales in the Tokyo.
I think the American market at the moment is in a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
I really do think they're in a bit of trouble.
So, I think they need to sort this bit out, and then they will. Because if you look at the lightweight division, there's the guys we mentioned, obviously Davis, Lomachenko, Shakur, and Brinchik. There's Zepeda, who also had a fight and had a pretty easy, comprehensive win.
It wasn't easy.
Well, it's never easy, but he's still there on 31-0, and in the conversation, Muratala, who's I think on the undercard of. He's going to be fighting soon. I think he's got a 20-0 record up and coming. There was Frank Martin, but he's got the loss against Davis now, but he's still a good fighter. Keyshawn Davis, who fought on this thing and had a really good performance. Because the guy he was fighting, I mean, he kept hitting him and the guy just kept coming forward. The Mexican was tough as nails. But yeah, he won basically every round. So, and a quite pretty impressive performance, and he's on 11-0, although I don't know if this has been updated, so he might not have his last fight on. Let me just check. So I like to be right. Keyshawn.
They just need to sort it out, get these fights made, the big fights made.
Yeah, well, they need to have this, and then there's people coming underneath, isn't it? So
because we want to see the fights. Even if they made it pay-per-view in America, I'd still buy it because I want to see them big fights. The people I'd say around the world will want to see them. They want to see Loma Tank and things. But I don't know what's... I don't know. I just think they're... I'm worried that the American market for boxing is in a bit of trouble. Eddie Hearn's doing really well over there, but the likes of Golden Boy, Bob, I mean, they'll totally disagree, but they make no noise about the fights.
They don't outside of America, and that is a bit...
which is, it's a bit weird.
But again, like I said, that's usually been the market, and I think now there's a changing... marketplace, if you like. They may have to, they have to adapt, but and if they don't, I think then it's just going to be like an isolated market. Most of the fighters will be, like you said, either Saudi or UK.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like you've got some, you've got Sky Sports, DAZN, you've got Amazon now, PBC, ESPN. DAZN, I'd say, they're still at the biggest payers at the minute, but there's people who make decisions. What will happen is promoters will go to the zone and say, right, we're putting this fight on. Do you want to air it? And it might be a superstar, but if he's against someone that
nobody knows who it is,
yeah, then they're going to go,
even pronounce the name.
Do you know what? No, we'll leave that. So then, unfortunately, the money of that fight then comes right down. So the boxers aren't going to get paid. So, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, the zone turned us down, so we're never working with them again. And that's what happens. Why did they turn you down? It's because you're not putting on good fights.
Well, I think they've got better, because if you look at a few of the cards, like I said on this card, as much as we didn't really know who Harutyunyan was, however you say his name, like the Keyshawn Davis and the Maduena fight, but that was really good. And obviously you got the Conceição did the controversial upset, you would say, as far as O'Shaki Foster is concerned, if that's his name correctly. So there was a good, at least that bit is in a good undercard, which they've improved, because you used to watch these and there's only one real fight, maybe the undercard fight, and everything else was people
for us in the UK, for the American fans, obviously the main card fights are usually on about between 4:30 and 5:30 in the morning.
That's the other problem, isn't it? I think they're promoting it out here.
what used to be really bad was because the undercard was so bad, you were falling asleep.
You're asleep by the time the main event's come.
And then you've missed the main event. Even 15 coffees in, you're still falling asleep because the undercard's that bad.
Which I think now at least is good because, like I said, if some of these were they're really good fights, and good to see the level of skill and stuff. Probably Keyshawn Davis is in that conversation.
I just want him to.
Rings,
I just want to see more about it.
Yeah. No, I agree. We've said this a few times.
I just want to see more about it.
But I think it's like a lot of the American sports. There's enough money in it internally that they keep it within there and they don't really care about the outside. Now they are promoting, but they're not.
Yeah.
But I think there are people now spending more than they are. So potentially the fighters do have a bigger pay packets outside. You
see,
and also getting better fights.
You know, a few years ago, boxer's price went through the roof. You were getting paid a hell of a lot of money. Well, it's come down a little bit now.
Well, I don't think there was that many, but I think Floyd and Pacquiao pulled it up. But then they were that good or entertaining.
No, I think if Floyd and Pacquiao were fighting now, I mean, their price would be.
But I don't think it was everybody else. Obviously, the heavyweights get good pay packets. Joshua's done that but then it's because he's such. It's not just what he does in the boxing ring; it's the marketing outside.
I think what happens is for the like, say for Lopez, for instance, you get I don't know. Say with his fight with Loma, he got 10 million. I don't know. I
don't think he got that much.
I don't know how much.
Fair, I think
but say he did get 10 million, and then his next fight, he's against whoever it is that we've never heard of, and he's only got $1 million, but he still thinks he's worth 10 million because he's had 10 million before. You're only going to get that money when you get the big fights, and it goes on gate receipts, like I say, pay-per-views, things like that. It's whether companies are going to sponsor that fight, and if you're not marketing properly, why are companies going to want to sponsor it?
Yeah,
because they're not going to get nothing out of it. So why are the TV channels going to want to broadcast it? Because they're not going to get the 500,000 viewers that you think you're going to get. So unless you start fighting the big names, you're not going to get your views. And yeah, I understand it. It's easier said than done. I do understand that, and money is a big key to it. But it shouldn't just be about money. Sometimes it should be. Boxers should be paid really, really well for what they do. But if you want to prove you're the best, go and fight the best.
Yeah, you see, Loma took a pay cut to fight him, isn't it? But his pay packet was like, £2.7 million. And that's a pay cut to fight Tio. So I don't think Tio's numbers were that much. He was the underdog in that. I don't think he was earning as much.
I mean,
Loma's got the name, and a worldwide name. Yeah. So he's the biggest star. Unfortunately,
but anyway,
yeah.
Back to Shakur. It's good. I am a fan of Shakur. I love his boxing. I think he's a really good boxer. I think he causes anyone real trouble.
Well, I think in some of the other divisions he'd been undisputed champion. He just in this one did a lot of other good, good fighters.
I think the thing is you've got to. You're only as good as your opponent as well, aren't you? And I think if you can get that other big name opponent like a Tank or a Loma, I think you see the best of all of them then if they're fighting each other. They'll work that extra bit harder. They'll do the gym sessions that extra bit more. I'm not saying they don't, because they all do. Obviously, they're all in phenomenal shape. But I think when you're up against someone who's on the same level,
top tier level, isn't it?
You put that extra in, and you tend to produce the best. And up in all their styles will make really, really
They're
good
all
fights.
Different styles, so it's interesting.
They will make really good fights. They're not going to be bore fests. So please.
Well, I think all
Make
the top
them.
8 in that division make interesting fights because Zepeda is interesting. Barincic's got his own style. Muratalla, Frank Martin, and Keyshawn Davis have all got the interesting styles.
So Pedro will think he'll take out any of them.
All of them.
Yeah, I'm telling you now he will.
Muratalla is up and coming. We'll see soon what he's like. And then Keyshawn Davis' fight was impressive. I mean, I don't know whether Maduena's just got like a granite chin or maybe Davis wasn't loading up or hasn't quite got the power of the thingy. But man, the amount of times he hit him with really, really good shots, and he did rock him. It was fantastic.
But again, these up and comers, they're going to be in mandatory soon, so they're going to have to add.
Well, I think he's probably lower because he's only on 11 fights yet, and he's still learning and growing. I think it's Zepeda is the next one really in that top 5.
If they get,
and then Muratalla,
if they get
on how he does.
If they get put into mandatory positions, don't be surprised that they beat the champions.
Yeah,
and then you'll never see the fight that we want to see.
I think in this division it's going to be, well, there's no talk of Barincik at the moment, so we'll see. But I think Tank and Loma is probably the one that we want to really see. The winner of that then would be on the other. So I think Shakur Barincik makes sense on the other side, or at least one of these other guys if that can't be made. But that would be the obvious, get the undisputed. Then you fight the Zepedas, Muratallas, and Keyshawns and co. And Frank Martin's in that mix at some point.
A loss won't do you any damage in that division.
Not against Tank. Because he was
not
doing good in the fight.
Not against any.
Not even against Loma because he's
not
that
against
good.
any of them. If you're putting in good performances, losses aren't going to do. Yeah, all right. Yeah, they don't get me wrong.
Not if you keep losing.
They're not the
but
best.
The odd loss is not.
But there's so many big players in that division that.
Well, there's about of the top 10 on rings estimation. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 undefeated. That's
what I mean.
So can't mix up the words.
They're gonna.
And Loma really should be in that scene.
Oh, there we go again.
Frank Martin's only got the 1 to Tank. And it's Abdullayev. I don't know who he's lost to, but again, he's got 19 to 1. So this is like a really impressive division.
Say Loma Tank fight. Do you have a therapist if Loma gets knocked out?
Yeah, you're going to be like...
Because I'm genuinely...
We're just going to be sitting here.
I am going to be genuinely worried about
To be honest, out of all of them, I think Tank's the one that could beat him.
Oh, dear God.
I think him and Shakur are equal. I think Tank is... Because he's got the power. He's the one where you stop a real technical boxer.
You're going to be absolutely inconsolable if that happens.
Yeah, I'll be like, no, it's not a loss. Yeah, he's knocked out, but it's not a loss.
Jesus.
But I want to see the fight, so...
Yeah, I mean...
No, because I think then I would... But I'm like a fan of Tank as well, so in theirs I could say... I was more concerned about Tank because the reason I like Loma, he fights everybody. So there's no like ducking fights or doing anything. Even injured, he fights people. So it's like, you've got to have respect for the person who does that. Tank, now they're making the fights, but they haven't always been so keen to fight everybody else. So all the names.
Let's see.
And Shakur, the same thing. I think, he's fantastic, but you've got to show it now. If you're really that good, you've got to beat these guys.
I think the next few weeks are going to be quite interesting. I think, obviously, we're not there, but I imagine there's a lot of talks going on at the minute. A hell of a lot of talks.
There's got to be between them three. You've got to have the next fight and the next fighter. And then, like I said, somebody's got to have the other belts.
And that's good.
And then... there's still big fights even with the other guys because you've got at least 3, 4, 5 other guys that are nearly, have only had one loss or nearly dead in the same conversation. And I think they need to get them done. And like you said, then they can fight the rest and see what goes. And then it may be one of the ones who's coming up can beat all of them anyway. Happy days. I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
Just as long as Loma wins undisputed.
I don't think it's ever going to happen, mate.
I don't think he's going to get undisputed now, but we'll see.
Never gonna happen. Sadly, he's too old and too late. But hey ho. But no, I hope the talks are happening. Be great for boxing. Be great for us. Great for the viewers. They want to see it.
Yeah. Well, we want to see it. Tank and Loma would be like a big fight.
But I want to know.
And then the winner of them, Shakur and Brinchik is a good fight.
It'd be interesting to know because
and then the winner, Happy Days, and then they fight Zepeda and Muratala and Keyshawn and Ko and all the others. Happy Days. There's a load of good fights there.
It'd be interesting to know
some of them can fight each other.
What you guys think? You know, obviously, I think Tank's the best in the division. I'd suggest a lot of people agree with me, but I think
most people think that.
I think there'll be a lot of people who haven't got any of the champions as one of their favourites, or one of their picks.
Well, Shakur fans will be saying Shakur, Loma fans will be saying Loma.
We'll
everybody else is saying Tank, and then maybe Brinchik's the best of the whole lot.
Or Zepeda, or
Zepeda looks damn good. Muratala coming up. Keyshawn Davis.
Let us know.
Was impressive.
Please, let us know. I want to know who you're.
Even Frank Martin's impressive in the.
Give your top 5 of that division.
Yeah, in the comments.
Let's see what your
and
top
which
5
fight you'd
is.
like to see, and or it would be good.
Yeah,
and we'll see. But interesting, good comeback from retirement performance from Shakur.
Retirement, yeah. Jesus.
Yeah. But interesting division, a lot of interesting fights to come up. So, thank you for watching, listening. Please like, subscribe, comment. Let us know what you think. Who would you like to see in the fight, and who you think are the best in that division. And we'll see you in the next one. And hopefully we'll be talking about one of these upcoming fights. Thank you. Take care.
See you now.